What are some of the world's greatest rivalries? You may say Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier or Batman versus Joker. But ask any scientist and they will most likely say nature versus nurture. Both shape us, but which one has greater influence? For centuries, this question has puzzled scientists. Research has drawn a clear line between the two, between heredity and experience. And scientists have demanded a champion. In 1874, an English researcher shared a groundbreaking finding. He famously said, "When nature and nurture compete for supremacy, the former proves the stronger," meaning genes will always come out on top. After all, genetics influence our height, weight, and habits. They shape our mental and physical health. They affect our likelihood of developing health problems, from cancer to depression and obesity to Alzheimer's disease. It's all in the genes. But over the past few decades, there has been a shift in thinking. Drawing a clean line between nature and nurture has become tricky, and scientists say that genetics is only half of the discussion. Now, a new study is out, the first of its kind, and it says that lifestyle and genetics are intertwined, meaning your lifestyle choices can influence how your genes function, and by extension, how your body functions. So what kind of choices are we talking about? Eating well, avoiding cigarettes, getting adequate sleep, and being physically active, managing stress, and developing positive social relationships. It's a tough ask. But if we get most of them right, most of the times, there is a big reward. We may be destined for the path laid out by DNA, but our everyday choices can tweak that path. Let's say you have life-shortening genes. In that case, a healthy lifestyle can counterbalance genetics. It can offset the impact of genes by 62% and add 5 years to your life. Vice versa, the same is true. If you do not have the genetic risk of early death, but if you lead an unhealthy life, then your choices can influence your genes and increase the risk of early death by 78%. And if you have a cocktail of both, unhealthy lifestyle and shorter lifespan genes, then you have double the risk of early death. And this is not just theoretical. Let me show you some numbers. Every year, 41 million people die globally due to genetics and unhealthy lifestyles. 41 million people, that's 74% of all deaths globally. Now, this study may sound depressing, but it has a brighter side. It shows us that the food we put in our bodies, the exercise we get, the chemicals we are exposed to, and our social environments can alter our health. And I say alter because they can physically alter our genes. You see, the human genome is dynamic. Genes can turn on or off, depending on the signals they receive from the body. So the choices you make are like a remote control. They can control genes to an extent. So for someone with obesity genes, for instance, it may be difficult to lose weight, but it's not impossible. People can self-engineer their genes. Humans have 1,500 genes that are on or active. Lifestyle choices affect 1,200 of them. They can also influence 21,000 other genes that are off or inactive. For instance, if men adopt a healthy lifestyle or do physical activity, reduce stress and maintain a healthy diet, they can turn off genes associated with prostate cancer. Instead, they can switch on the genes that cause cancer cells to destroy themselves. And the same principle applies to many other diseases. This is both sobering and encouraging. It shows that we are not completely at the mercy of our genes. In many ways, our genes depend on our decisions and habits. But as they say, with great power comes great responsibility.